Well, good morning, and what a change the weather has made for itself over the last few days. A few days ago I was out in the garden, it was 20 Celsius, really warm, shorts and t-shirt, and now look at it, it's down to 10 Celsius and misty and rainy. But that doesn't stop us, does it? Not if you want to get out and about and get some fresh air and a bit of exercise. So today I'm walking the route, a little short circular route, partly because I've not got much time today, and also partly because the weather's not that great, so it's not quite as enjoyable as it otherwise would be, but it's very pleasant. Now then, this is a little circular walk you can do from the village of Pirton in North Hertfordshire up onto an area called High Down, and it's probably no more than say about 1.5 miles back to Pirton in less than an hour. Just have a nice walk now out the village from the junction of Pirton Road and Shillington Road, straight up this pathway next to the field, and lurking up there in the mist is High Down. Once we get to the top of here, we'll take a left turn onto High Down itself, past High Down Farm, and just have a little amble around up there, back down the other side, back down towards the village. I'll be looking up at the aircraft today. In the sunshine above this cloudy weather. This is also quite a nice jog, if you like, testing yourself running up some hills. They're not too steep, but you certainly know you've run up a hill by the time you get to High Down, and it's mostly downhill going back again, so that's pretty good on the whole. The line of trees over there is the return leg of the walk. This is quite a good walk if you've got youngish children, you want to get them out and about a bit, walking around. It's not too far, and you end up where you started pretty much. So if you turn up by car to do this little walk, then you can just park not far from the start and finish. There is the Mott and Bailey pub, which if it's open, come at the pub opening hours, is a good place to stop in and have some refreshment. As you reach the end of this first little gentle climb out to the village, you come to a junction. If you're feeling very unenergetic and don't want to go all the way up onto High Down, you can take a right turn here. Popular with dog walkers that are nipping out quickly with their dogs. Is up here. Take a right turn along the farm track back to where the trees are in the distance. Take a right turn and you're back into Pirton. But we're taking the left turn, so carry on up this hill. Whenever I run up here, this doesn't look particularly steep, but it certainly feels it when I run it. I'm sure the fitter ladies and gentlemen amongst you will will not recognise that fact, but I'm not as fit as I could be. As you can see, back towards the village of Pirton down there, it's rather grey and murky this morning. When you reach the top of this path, there's a road that leads off to the left. That's actually a private road belonging to the farm, and there is a very small, pretty insignificant and easy to miss sign saying private or something to that effect on the tree over there. And at the other end of the road, down on the Pirton road, there's another sign, which I completely missed once. I didn't know it was there. Walked up there, and a very polite lady and gentleman did point out to me I was walking where I shouldn't be. But that was fine. As always, we make our apologies and carry on our way. But that's over that way really, so out of respect for the people that let us walk across their land, we better not go on the bits that we're not supposed to go on. Now, we're going through the gate there, which leads us onto the proper footpath up onto High Down. Great place to come up with the kids, picnic, rug, on a nice day, not like today. Sit and have your breakfast and look at the nice scenery over North Herts and Beds. As the sign says here, it's a sheep field. There's lots of little lambs about at the moment as well, so if you do come up with your dog, as it says, please make sure it's kept on the lead. So please make sure to close the gate afterwards. On really cold, miserable, windy days, the sheep quite often congregate in this area because it's quite sheltered. Well, they soon run away when you come along. And here we are on High Down. It's probably taken approximately 20 minutes to get here. Wow. This is soggy. I think I put the wrong shoes on today. I didn't realise it was quite this wet up there. That's High Down over there. Black sheep of the family. A bit like me, really. And girls. The lambs are starting to grow up a bit now. Great place to bring the youngsters when the really small little babies are put out here, running around behind their mums. Look at these two. Hello. Oh, don't go away. Continue back towards Pirton, over that way through the gates and the pathway, not unsimilar to the one we've just come up, back down again. Come from over there, and you can just walk about over the down here, enjoy the fresh air. On a clear day, you get lovely views all the way across North Hertfordshire and Bedfordshire over there. Village of Pirton is down there in the mist. If you fancy a longer walk once you get here, the pathway continues over there, where those trees are, towards Welbury, and that's quite a nice pleasant walk, around about 3.5 miles, circular walk. There, back onto Wood Lane, where we'll come to fairly shortly, over the distance there, and back to Pirton, where you can walk to the village of Offley, taking the route over that way. It's all available online if you have a look. And we'll start walking back down towards the village. Marked out pathways you can probably just about see. The woods where a lot of pheasant shooting takes place at the right time of year. So if you do come up here at a weekend at that time, then don't be surprised if there's some loud bangs going on from inside there. Lambs in. There's a new sign been put there. Down towards the village of Pirton. tree line over in the distance there is Wood Lane. When we reach there, I'll take a right-hand turn back down into the village. But Wood Lane appeared on another video I did. Walk to Pegston and Deacon Hill. That's where we walked up to the first major thing to see, which is Knocking Knoll Nature Reserve, or Knocking Hoe Nature Reserve I should say. That's on a different video. That's just up there about half a mile. But as I say, this is quite a short walk this morning. Time constraints. If you've got an hour to spare, this is certainly a nice way to stretch your legs and get some fresh air. It's funny, it always amazes me, Great Britain, the fabulous weather patterns we get. A few days ago it was 20 Celsius or in the high teens, shorts and t-shirt weather. Absolutely glorious. There's not been much rain for most of March, and there were cracks starting to appear in the ground in my back garden and elsewhere where the ground had got quite dry. Now it's pretty soggy, just a couple of days later. And I dare say in a few more days it'll be back to nice weather again. Or spring showers, or gale force winds. They even mentioned sleet coming this week, but I can't see that myself, but you never know. This is Great Britain in the spring. And we're now back at Wood Lane. It's an interesting sign that popped up a year or so ago. Conservation area, no public access. It's a shame really, because sometimes this pathway is extremely slippy and muddy going up from here to Knocking Knoll. A lot of people decide to walk up this way because it's not so slippy and muddy. And then this sign appeared. I'm not quite sure what's being conserved along the side of this row of trees on the other side of Wood Lane, but there you go. Someone decided to stick a cheap plastic sign up asking you not to go in there. I don't think it stopped anyone, mind you, but there you go. But yet you can walk down that way. This is Wood Lane. Up there is Knocking Hoe Nature Reserve, which is a conservation area and you can walk around it. And there's one heck of a lot of signs. You can and can't go. This is a cycle track as well, and quite often you get cycles coming down here very, very fast from the top of Knocking Hoe back down to Pirton, because it's downhill all the way and you can get quite a speed up. A couple of things here. One, if you've got small children with you and it's a weekend and there are a few bikes coming down, keep an eye on the kids because they do appear rather quickly from nowhere. And secondly, if you're cycling and it's a bit wet like today, this turns into a glacier in parts, and I myself have come across her on a couple of occasions coming down the hill and ended up in the thorns, so just beware of that. I was cycling up here a good few years ago. I was just ahead of where we are now, coming in the other direction, and I must have startled somebody that was walking their dog to the point that they started effing and blinding at me, telling me this isn't a cycle track and I shouldn't be on my bike, and lots of other expletives. To which I pointed out the cycle track sign that they were stood right next to, which I thought was quite amusing at the time. But it does do to get your facts right if you're going to start telling people what they should and shouldn't do walking around in the countryside. And it's probably an idea to get your own facts right as well before you start cycling or riding horses or whatever else. Make sure that it is permitted in the place you're at. Wood lane seems to be pretty much okay for anything. That we originally came out turn up the highway over there. This is the right turn for sure. That brings you out just here. That's how much shorter it is. It's about half the distance. And for a quick yomp with their dog in the morning, it's absolutely perfect. Don't forget the nappy sacks to take along the messages that get left occasionally. Cycle ride number 16. From this post I was told I shouldn't be on my bike. Anyway. Right, this is pretty much coming to the end of the walk now. We just walk along this final part of the wood lane pathway back to Pirton. Enjoy your walking, everybody.